listening to Bored with Nelly.
Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Bored with Nelly. Today is a very non-traditional guest, my friend Milos. He's been in a bunch of videos of mine. He's a very, very interesting character. He's not a FIFA person, but he is a professional pole vaulter. He is trying to get to the Olympics, and I think he's going to be able to do it next year. He won $75,000 on Ellen. He has a master's in film. He's just a very interesting character, and if you're a younger listener, I think there's a lot of things you can draw from this podcast about basically a person that's kind of figured out a different way to make it in life without necessarily going through the cubicle job or the 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it. So to me, you know, it's definitely an inspiration, and I think you can draw a lot of stuff from it. And I'd like to apologize because I lost about a minute of the audio, you know, somewhere in the middle. Nothing was really crazy that was missed, but just letting you guys know. And I lost like the last 10 minutes, so the end's kind of abruptly, but once again, not too much is missed, and I'll continue working on improving the quality, the general quality of the show, and especially these in-person podcasts, which I don't think I'll have too many of, but when I do, I'd like to have a really quality episode, and the guests that I have are just awesome. So this was a fantastic episode, and I really hope you give it a listen. All right, enjoy.
Milos Savic, my brother.
Is it recording?
Is it? Yeah, let's
Oh,
double check.
You can see in the mirror it's flashing. If it doesn't flash, it's not recording.
You can see the mirror, I can't.
You can't see the mirror?
I can see the mirror, but I can't see the little thing.
That's a big mirror. You gotta see everything.
My guy, some people might know this as the infamous How to Catch a FIFA Predator set. What they don't know is how many videos...
How many other sets have been on here?
How many videos
You're
of mine...
sitting on a casting couch right now.
Why are you helping me with videos, my guy? What's the...
Why am I helping you with videos?
Yeah, why? What's the reason?
Well, you kind of forced me to. You're super annoying. It's just like an everyday text.
Right.
Until I say yes. So it's like...
it's like I might as well do it now, right?
No, I love making videos. I mean, I have my master's in film, so I love
Yeah, we should probably address what you are and who you are.
I love that.
Tell the folks a little bit about yourself, what
Can
you
I eat
do.
the sausage while I talk?
Of course.
So good.
Yeah, please.
Well, my name is Milos. I've got a master's in film at the University of Windsor. So I'm a filmmaker, but I am an artist by day. Well, athlete by day, artist by night.
Okay.
So I do film. I stay up real late to do film, but then the next day I go and train. I'm a pole vaulter. So that's my story.
You're a Renaissance man, I would say.
You know, I don't like to fit those molds that, you know, the cookie cutter children, you know. I was that until I was about 12. And then I said, let's get going.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I've known you since 13, 12. We played Windsor Serb soccer.
Yep.
And we played on the highest level in our little city. We both made the best team, the best football team you can make in our division.
In our division?
FC Nationals.
But I didn't go. I went to Rose City. I didn't make FC.
You didn't make FC?
No. Because I didn't want to quit hockey.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had the best team in the city, the Windsor Serbs.
Yeah.
And what happens is you get called up to the FC Nationals, which is like a team above, and they start competing.
It's the academy team in the city.
Yeah. Right. And then you start traveling and you start playing in, I don't know, in like Michigan and Toronto and all these like tournaments.
So you had went there with a couple athletes and I went to a couple of their practices to like try out whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, he's not bad, but he's a hockey player.
Sure. I mean, for our age, you were kind of, you know.
That was good.
Yeah.
And they wanted me, but they were like, yeah, you can't do both. So I said to my dad, I'm not down with this. It was kind of salty. It was a weird relationship with that coach. It was
Dave.
Just at the time, like I'm boys with his son now. Like we're cool, but like at the time, I just felt like this weird energy. And then the Rose City spinoff, I went to Rose City, which was like the best team in the league that you left to go play FC. Right. And then I went to London United.
Did you? I don't remember.
And that's when we versed each other, and that's when we made it to the same. So I went to that same team, but in London.
You went full James Harden. You went to.
And then when we played Windsor versus London, I scored 3 goals. And I was not the best player.
Did we win? Who won?
We won.
You won?
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, it was bad. And you know my coach, you know him well.
Yeah.
He was fired up. And I remember I was all in it too because it was this like crazy rivalry. Like I kind of got cut from them, not really, but I made that up in my head.
Yeah, of course.
They cut me.
The Jordan documentary. I made it personal.
I made it personal, and I remember going like this to our London United crest, you know, and just looking at Dave like after my third goal, and they're like, "How is Milos out of all people scored on us?" Jovan's pissed, right? And then my coach isn't even like, "Good job." He was like, "Oh, great miss kick, big man," because I definitely foomed it, but it went right past Jovan, and I was just like, "Boys,
Was that the coach? Did that coach also coach somewhere in Windsor?
Yeah, Rose City.
Wait, okay, yeah. Before that, the season before that, we played against them.
Yeah,
and then they lost like 7-1.
Yeah, it was like Rose. I'm pretty sure it was Rose City.
Rose City? We were like stacked.
Oh yeah.
And this guy was.
It wasn't fair.
This guy was fuming. He was calling us out, saying we were buying the best players in the city.
For sure.
At 13 years old in Windsor, Ontario.
Football is it's like what this is to Serbs. That's what football
really is
to Scots. And he is very passionate, and he will get under your skin.
Yeah.
And the players, coaches, he is a machine mentally.
Yeah.
So he likes doing that. He's like, you guys are buying players, you guys are this, and he just like 2 years later I'm on his team.
Yeah, this guy was like, every football coach is kind of like fucking the head a little bit, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be almost. Like, who wants
Well, yeah, a good coach has got to be a little crazy.
But he was like literally fuming. He was yelling, screaming at like 12-year-olds. He's like, look at you, Windsor Serbs, buying all the best players. I'm like, bro, it's like, come on, man.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, Windsor. It's ridiculous. Shameful from the FA.
I love it.
Okay, so yeah, footy, early life. Hockey. What happened with hockey? And
I mean, living in Canada, if you're not playing hockey, you're
not getting
Serbian.
laid. Yeah, you're not getting laid. You're right.
Well, it was one of the few Balkans on the ice, but that made it good because that was my sport. You know, I was way better at hockey than I was at soccer.
Isn't there one Serbian guy that plays in the NHL? What's his name?
There is one now. Yeah, I forget his name. And there's a lot of
everyone looked up to this guy. This guy always it's like the idol for Serbian hockey, like kids here.
Are you talking about Joe Sakic?
No. There's this very Serbian guy. I can't remember his name. He plays in the NHL.
I think there's one now. I'm out of the hockey loop.
Right. So how did hockey come about? Why did you even?
Well, I asked to play when I was young because like all my friends played, right? All my friends were playing hockey, and I'm like this athlete, and I'm like, yo, let's try it. And 2 years later, I'm just good, and they're like, you just started skating, like
Really?
You should play travel. And then I went to try out for travel, and I didn't make it for like 3 years. I just keep getting cut.
Yeah.
Even though I was like pretty good, I just like it's a big like system where it's all the parents know each other and like who's this Milos guy? He's not that good.
Yeah, true.
So it took really long to make a team. Finally made the team, and then after that it was just like I became the person who's like, okay, he's already on the team, and now like it's an interesting family of hockey. But it's a great sport. I love skating. That's the thing. I don't like running. I love skating.
Right.
It's so much more efficient, man. You just do a little stride and you're gliding.
We should start making all the roads ice and everything ice.
I would love that. When I see images of like Quebec with all those channels and people are skating, I love it. Super cool. So I'm a huge skating fan.
Yeah.
In fact, more than I am
hockey. But you don't play hockey anymore?
I played pickup 2 years ago. I play in leagues like here and there, but I haven't put on skates in like 2 years. I'm not allowed to do it now because I'm training full time for pole vault, so I can't really risk my body. Because
you're gonna be an Olympian. You're gonna be talking to an Olympian. This pod is gonna just age so well, and people are gonna age where can I find out more about this Milos guy? And be like, I got the only ticket in town, boys. Come on down.
Yeah. So that's the story with that. And then when I got old enough to realize what hockey players are, I was like, I don't want to be a hockey player.
You ain't no teeth. You're gonna get like concussions.
Oh man,
your body's gonna be destroyed by fucking 30.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, think of some of these kids, man. They're like 19 years old, and it's like, oh, like $2 million contract, and you move into a city, like
their cocks are, always empty. You know what I'm saying? Like in Canada, to be a hockey player 100%. Is what it is to be a footballer in Europe. If people 100%. Can understand what that means.
Yeah, You smell a little more after the game, but
they love it here. They're free.
They love it. Yeah, so that was a nice little ride. But yeah, no, that's done. You know, I respect the sport, but like you said, concussions, man. It's a big issue in today's society.
How does pole vault come into this equation next? How do we go from soccer to hockey to pole vault?
Right. How do you start something like that? That's what they say. Well, I did track in high school.
I do remember this, yes.
In fact, that was a big thing with soccer, too. I only did soccer because I was fast and I could score. But
you're a little bigger, too. You're a bigger kid, I think.
Yeah, I was a little, stronger, like a little, more physical.
You had that, farmer strength. I always say, you plowed, and your family has plow genes.
Plow genes, sausage fingers. Yeah.
You should see his backyard, I swear to God.
It's
Harvest Moon on the hardest difficulty.
No, I definitely did it mainly though for conditioning and whatnot. So track was a big thing, and that's what a big part of my game was. I was fast, and I remember at one point, dude. I think back now, it's what a cocky little bastard. But
yeah.
We would the team would be warming up, and the warm up wasn't good enough for me, and I would do a track warm up by myself at the halfway line.
Really?
I would do A's and B's, the whole,
Yeah.
Boom. And I'm doing this, and as the team's doing their own warm up,
right.
I was just no, I'm doing this because I want my legs to be warmed up. And when I played against this coach, he was look at this fucking guy,
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. He hated it, right? And as soon as I joined the team, he was a little upset, what do you think, you're better than the team? And I was just let me do me, let me warm up. And then after the first game, after a couple goals, he was please do the warm up. And then he would start it became a thing where it's all right, go over here and do this. He wanted to,
of course,
use my, but I think back now, I'm what a cocky little kid is just yeah, I'm gonna do my own warm up.
So you guys are not really good enough here.
I just found that we focused less on the running and get the legs moving. So I wanted the proper biomechanics to be sprint.
That's the thing in footy. Your legs always feel like they're bricks at the start. Maybe it's because you're nervous a little bit, or you just don't get that.
I think it's that. I mean, it's changing now. The technology, everyone knows a lot more. But I think back then it was more all right, pass this ball around, shoot a couple on the net, I'm good to go. It's I haven't even broken a sweat. My legs are ready to go. So that warm up I was doing was more let's get my hips firing, let's get my glutes. I need to actually be able to full sprint.
Right.
And that was my number one goal / set the tone of the game in hockey and soccer. Same thing I would do. Whoever started with the ball, I would just look at them and be kick it up right away. This team, you're getting to the start line, it's it's about to be a game, and then it's the whistle blows, it's kick, and I'm full sprint, and they're what just happened? And if you score within the first 10 seconds, you are demoralized.
Yeah, it's true.
It's always my go-to is right off the bat, go 110%. And then it's not going to be fun for them. So that was my tactic.
You're kind of a wild man, I would say. You live a wild life. You're just.
I do.
You're
a little bit.
You're the busiest unemployed guy I know. That makes sense.
I love that. I got to put that under my bio or something.
That's so good.
Busiest unemployed man ever.
We've been trying to set up the pod for months. And today we get you, and you literally had 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, exactly. I was up till 5:45 last night, drinking beer, editing. I wake up early and I try to edit, and I edit all day and I get nothing done. And then at midnight when everyone's sleeping, my creativity spikes. I used to think that was a lie, and I spent 2 years of my life getting up really early and actually grinding. But there's something about the nighttime where you're supposed to
People
be
are built different, right? Everyone has a
dude
night owl or what's
night owl, night owl. And it's not even about I don't choose that. It's just what it is. I sit at that desk and I edit all day, and I don't get a lot done. And then as soon as the sun goes down and the normals are sleeping,
normies,
it's just excessive work. And so I finished everything, which was nice. The busiest unemployed man. I like that, man. Are you a writer?
I do write my own scripts. Some people wouldn't know this if they're Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. What does this mean for pole vault? Let's go back to pole vault, because I feel we didn't even talk about that.
Oh, shit.
How the hell did you get into pole vault?
So I was a track guy. I went to a very athletic high school, but people are gonna get mad, but it's the truth. I'm white. You know, like, listen.
You are? I don't see color, bro. Come on now.
So I trained my ass off, and I'm an athlete, and I'm pretty fast.
Right.
But these boys, they would show up, zero practice.
Yeah.
Smoking weed every day, and
Yeah.
they would just crush me.
Crush it.
And I remember telling my dad, I'm like, Dad, I love track, and it's fun, and like I did 400 hurdles and 400 meters. And I was
Right.
kind of like, but I tried everything. I tried a little jab. I kind of wanted to do the decathlon.
Jab, is that a term in the
Javelin?
circle? They don't say, they say jab.
Javelin?
The
Jab.
javelin people say, I do the jab.
I do the jab. I throw a spear. It's the coolest.
That is actually, that's
It
sick.
is the most badass.
It's
one.
literally like a Trojan,
Yeah.
like,
Spartan's dream.
yeah, this is how they killed people.
Right. So I tried all of it, but I told my dad, I was like, I can train my whole life. I'll never be as fast as some of these guys. Like,
True. Some people are just,
So
built different.
Right, but I was at a track meet once, and I saw these, like, high school pole vault in Canada is not that good. And I remember looking over and just being like, I would smash every single one of those kids. It's like all the athletes were doing 100-meter long jump, and all, like, the leftovers were kind of, like, doing pole vault.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, like, how the sport is, right?
Sure.
It's just, like, all these, like, people that get cut from other sports come and try pole vault, and it's like, what am I working with here, you know? Which is sad, but now it's changing, obviously.
Yeah.
The sport is growing huge. So anyways, I saw it, and I was like, dude, I would be so good at that. Like, I can do backflips, I can do a handstand. Like, I feel like my body, I feel like that's something I can
Balance,
do.
right?
And you got to be a little crazy. And
You gotta be
this
crazy.
is for me, right?
Right.
And we didn't have it at my high school. And my coach said, you would be good at it, but I can't coach you. Like, we don't have that program. So it wasn't until university I started pole vault. So I basically just did track and volleyball and all the sports I wanted. And then in university, I tried out. I got cut.
From pole vault, you got cut?
Yeah, because I never had done it before.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Yeah, of course, I know.
I'd never done it.
I'm joking. You got cut, bro, from a thing you've never tried before?
So I did the Michael Jordan thing where
I took it personal.
I took it personal, and I went with my sister twice to practice on our own. And then I jumped standard. And then...
What does that mean?
Like, to make the team. Like,
Oh!
I got cut, and then they were like, yeah, sorry, like, you've never pole vaulted before? Like, you're not good enough. And then I said, well, can you give me until December, which was like the beginning of the season, to
High
jump
school Jordan, baby.
to
They
jump
got
this
you, like,
height?
I'm coming back
And
with
he's like,
vengeance.
sure.
Right.
So, and then when I made it, he was kind of like, fuck, like, now we gotta drag this from zero. From zero.
That's kind of a nice thing with a coach. I mean, that's
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
And it was a big group then, which was the problem. There was like 12 of us. So it
Right.
was just like extra baggage. Like now looking back, when people want to do that, it's like, who are you? You're nobody. But just my personality and stuff,
Yeah.
I got in there. Super annoying first year, you know, thinks he's so cool. But I ended up being his best athlete, and so breaking the University of Windsor Athletic Club record.
It's
and
beautiful.
So it all worked out at the end.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, and I got good real fast, and then it kind of plateaued, like anything.
Sure.
But then I just kept grinding, and it's been like 8 years now, 9.
That's crazy.
So, seems like a lot, but it's nothing.
Of course.
You know,
Anything takes...
The world record holder currently right now is 20 years old, but his training age is like 15 years old. Like he started
That's
out of the
crazy.
womb, he's been
Yeah.
so he's just unbelievable.
Sure.
So it's just hard to catch up, but I mean,
What's the
no
big...
time for excuses? You know?
Nah. What's the big goal, I guess? What's the big dream here with pole vault?
Go to the Olympics.
Olympics for sure. Yeah.
Actually, no. I always say that's funny. I always say like I hate when people say that because like Olympics is just another event. Like make a world championship.
Yeah.
Like go to Worlds,
Right.
including Olympics. But outside of Olympics, World Championship is just as I mean it's just as impressive. It's just that Olympics happens every 4 years. That's
Sure.
why it has this like stigma, and it's for your
To
country.
be called an Olympian.
Right.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Right. But like it's sad because you'll have situations where people will, example, a female hurdler from the States broke the world record and didn't make the Olympics 2 weeks later.
How?
Because in America, let's say you have 5 people with Olympic standard, you can only send 2. So it's top 2 at their nationals.
Oh,
so if
that's
that day,
so stupid.
if that day something happens to you, you don't make it. So they've had world record holders not represent them because that day they came 3rd.
That's so weird.
I mean, and it has to happen because like they have to give a chance to everyone. I get it, but like So yeah, I don't really care so much about Olympics. I just want to go pro. I want to like do it as much as I can, inspire people, have fun.
Is there a lucrative life here? Potentially to be
top 10 could maybe live off of it ish. Like track is not soccer. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, how many Olympic sports are? Most Olympic sports are just like probably teetering on the edge of making a good living, right?
Yeah.
Besides like the bigger ones, like unless you're Usain Bolt or some freak athlete that does.
Like that, exactly. Those guys those guys are definitely making a lot of money. But it's more so sponsorship and this and that. From the actual sport itself, the prize money is not that big.
Right.
But depends how good you are, right? So, I mean, if it was in it for the money, I would have stayed with soccer and played that my whole life.
Or hockey, bro. Hockey would have been too.
But nah, thinking back, man, soccer, dude. It's in my blood. I'm Serbian.
Right.
Like, I definitely should have just...
Well, you would have been... If you stuck to it and stayed around for MLS. MLS is booming lately. Right. Like, a lot of people...
I wish I liked soccer. I really did wish I liked it. Because if I did, I think that, like, it'd be the easiest body-wise for me. If I could see Ronaldo, I'll crush him in the race, man.
Imagine me. The next guest I should have, or the next guest I have on, is probably going to be Stefan Sabera.
Nice.
So I want to get to know, what his thoughts are, and because he went to Europe at a very young age.
Yeah.
And that's such a difficult thing to do because he was like 20 and he was without a doubt another level here, but
another level here.
Over there is like,
that's what I mean. So you're another level here, you're the best player in Ontario. Let's say, and you go there and you can like. Did he go to Turkey or something?
He went to a bunch of random places and he didn't get much playing time, but
that's the thing is like he was there and then when he came back he played for the national team here.
Yeah,
correct. So like he's obviously unreal.
So now he's playing in the Canadian Soccer League and he's about to sign a new contract. But anyways, story for the day. I think the reason I like you is because you just try different stuff and most people will look back in life and think like, oh, how is he gonna make money out of this? How is he gonna like? They're thinking so. With just like a small-minded approach, and then never really works out because at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you like, and if you find any way to make any living of it, you've already succeeded more than like 90% of people who are too afraid to do so.
Right. Well, you get bombarded with these things like don't just live life to make money and like you're gonna have regrets. Like how many people actually do what they like, and at a young age, I was just like, I'd rather struggle to pay a bill and do something I like than just like finish engineering and go get a job that's gonna pay well.
I had a great time here. Thanks.
No, but like I got like my cousin, my dad are both engineers, and that was obviously in my mind. Like I was good at math and science in high school, and like I really do like it, and it's a great career. Something I would probably do if I wasn't an athlete, but it's like.
But you're so focused on not doing that though, which is really good. You're really you're really zoomed in on this one goal, and that's why you're kind of succeeding so much into it. Because I think you're not really thinking about the other side of that, which is really good. And I think to succeed, you kind of need that little approach.
Yeah, like I used to say as a kid all the time, is like if you have a plan B, you're not gonna make your plan A because then you're thinking about plan B.
Sure,
you should only have plan A. But when plan A is win an Oscar and go to the Olympics,
right,
that's pretty freaking hard.
Yeah.
I don't have rest in peace, Kobe.
Beat
me to it. He got an Oscar.
That's crazy. He did, yeah.
But it was for a short, so I want to be the first Olympian to win a feature.
Ambitious
feature Oscar. But
you got the filmmaking. He didn't have the filmmaking ability.
He didn't have the filmmaking ability, but I mean I honestly think that might even be harder. I don't know what's harder, winning an Oscar, going to the Olympics. Close.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Winning the Olympics and winning an Oscar. I'd say winning the Olympics is harder. But going to the Olympics and winning an Oscar, I think winning an Oscar is harder.
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Something to think about, when you get there.
Hopefully, man. That's the dream. But like you said, I am the busiest unemployed man.
Dude, we when we did that, so me and you did a 48-hour film thing 2 years ago.
Yes. 48-hour film
and it was so fun.
It's unreal.
It was the most stressful / fun time ever. But I remember at the end of it, we had the presentation and everything, and everything was like, everyone was happy. We won the best, like, people voted for our video as the best.
People choice. We got gypped that year.
We got gypped. I no doubt about it. But I remember specifically there was a guy that came up to you afterwards, right? From like Chrysler or somewhere, and he gave you his contact information. You easily could have landed some sort of marketing, media job at any of the big companies.
Like, I definitely could have, like...
And you're just like, that's not what I want to do. And to me, I was like, my man probably just turned down a 6-figure U.S. contract to just do whatever he wants to do, because like you're not gonna be in the cubicle. You're not that kind of guy.
No, yeah, and I've had someone tell that to me, and I respected that they saw that, but they were like, you might be the only person that's gonna get away with never having a desk job. Like, my goal in life is not to have a desk job. I don't know who was saying that, but this podcast guy, whatever that is, he was saying that like having a resume is one thing, having a life resume is more important.
Sure.
So it's like if you have I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro on your resume, you stand out from all these other guys who just like, I finished Ivy League and I play COD, like I'm
Diamond League.
So I think that just doing a lot of things is good. And like I think if I just were to say like, okay, I'm done with pole vault, very quickly I could find a job and be fine.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm striving for. Yeah. There's that sacrificing the money now to like build and work for something that's going to be more lucrative eventually, hopefully. Right. But
I mean, even if you get to a point where you do turn pro and you're making a living,
right?
I mean, that is the ultimate like dream. That's the
dream.
That's pretty.
And it's not that far. I'm knocking on the door, which is why I'm moving to Toronto in 2 weeks, going to train full time, and that's going to be a grind because now I got to worry about rent because this beautiful edifice is my father's.
When this thing clears up, we're gonna do some.
Oh yeah, always play
some blowy in Toronto. Bring some Windsor over. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes. There's no blowy. There will be no blowy. Mom, if you're listening, turn it off.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think, I don't know, man, I always go back and I always think like, what am I doing wrong, or what could I be doing differently? And to me, I've always just like, I've just kept a billion options open, kind of like you, because I don't really know what the move is yet.
Right. Well, like you just started your masters. That's big.
Right. I just want to get to Spain, man. I just want to go to Spain. If there was ever a harder route to Spain, I don't think I
have a better chance to go and play footy. Go back, start training, and maybe you'll get signed in Spain than go this way.
Being a professional footballer in one of the best footballing nations on the planet does seem pretty doable at 27.
After Serbia. Come on.
Another move that no one talks about right now, I think the bigger move, honestly, would be working from home.
Oh, man.
Finding some sort of job. Like, I was looking at social media jobs. Give me 25 hours a week and give me like a sustainable like living, and then that gives me time to do whatever I want to do, and I'll live like for 500 euros a month in Valencia.
That's the next generation's mindset, which unfortunately like it's getting saturated, the market. But then again, it's like you do whatever you want to do, like we talked, right? You want to like do what you want to do, and then just like if you could put that online somehow in like a nice shape,
right? Stand out.
You can keep doing what you're doing. Like that Casey Neistat, the guy from New York, phenomenal, dude. The guy's just doing what he's doing.
Right.
And throws up a couple vlogs, and he's now, that's probably like one of his main income streams.
Right.
Is his online presence.
There's so many stories of that, though. That's the beautiful part. Like, if there's one takeaway from this podcast is like, do what you want to do, and if you really are dedicated to it, you can figure out a way to make it a living or monetize it or whatever it may be.
100%. But it's not easy and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People think this overnight success, like these people that are stupid online. Yeah, they might be clowning.
Right.
But dude, they're still recording, editing, posting, talking to people, collabing, doing this. It's whatever you do, nothing happens overnight. Nothing. Unless you're actually, not unless, like, people always say, like, someone like Justin Bieber, let's throw that name as an example, like, what? But, like, Buddy got flown out and, like, everything was given to him. Yeah, but he's also a musical prodigy at age 4.
Sure.
So, like, he's obviously done work, and when he was a kid, he was grinding, singing, and doing stuff a lot that people don't see. Like, he's, he is who he is, but can't grow up in La La Land and be normal. You got to go in there.
You have to be a little bit,
like Jamie Foxx says. First, you grind through the stuff, and then when you're a human, you go there.
Is that what Jamie Foxx said?
Yeah, and then you'll be fine. But if you go as a kid and you're raised by Mickey Mouse, I just think of the Family Guy clip where Walt Disney is like, "Yeah, take it off," and Minnie's like taking off her shirt and he's drawing her. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane, shout out. That is an inspiration, man.
That's okay. So we go from you know, footy to hockey to pole vault to film. You are one of them. You might not know. I think I've told you though. Like when you were younger and you were making these like stupid videos in high school. Yeah. I was still like shy enough where I didn't want to make anything. Right. But I would look into those videos like, damn, these are so good. Why don't I make this? And then I just didn't have the balls to do it until like I don't know later in life, of course. But I would say the sketch videos. You might be one of the bigger inspirations, low key.
Oh wow, thanks, buddy.
So like those videos were like, I'm like, man. Every time I have an idea, I always like message him like, hey bro, like this. Think about this sketch. Well, if you had free time, we would make sketches, I feel like, 24/7.
And I think I want to do more of that. Like, even this film, I'm currently making a film right now, and it's just, I love the filmmaking process, but to be a professional athlete requires so much that it's kind of hard to do both. But, I mean, like I said, what isn't hard? Yeah. So I'm trying to grind both, but, man, making sketches, there's nothing better. Yeah. Really. Like, it's just such a good atmosphere, and, yeah, I did it at such a young age. It just came natural, but... That's another thing that, like, could easily be a revenue stream or whatever.
You have a master's in film, my guy.
Yeah, and I've been doing videos, and I remember in high school...
You have the most impressive of all resumes. You have so much content out there. That's the thing. Like, most people say they have a degree, but they never made anything or done anything. You have literally, like, hundreds of hours of film.
This teacher, what's her name? Miss P, she was a gym teacher, but she said, you should, like, do this YouTube thing. This is when YouTube was just starting to get...
Alright, apologies, I lost about 1 minute and 30 seconds of audio here and video. We were talking about YouTube and other revenues, other sources of revenue, and then Milos started talking about how he's doing photography on the side and filming weddings and stuff like that to make some side money. So, jumping back into it.
Yeah, so who knows when that cut out, but I was going to say photography is something that's a little easier than film, and you can make money easier because it's less time-consuming and less of a team effort as opposed to just one solo.
You know, I think it's interesting that you said like if you go all in on one, you're kind of like you get drained or tired or burned out.
Yeah, I mean,
but I feel that because like I feel like my best video ideas have always come in a time where I was like doing something else. Like when I was like in a cubicle, I was like, all right, how can I get out of here? And then just ideas come by. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Well,
that's a good idea. Like,
well, it's like that concept. Like I always think, oh, if only I had this. If only I had this. If only. But like no one has that, and even if they do, they might still not succeed. Like it's this like fantasy that if I go 100% into this, it would work out. Yeah. But like, how do you know that? Like my dad always used to tell me, he's like, you're expecting this like perfect scenario. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. Like it just won't. And as a kid, I was so busy. I was in like 4 sports, like 3 travel sports, like doing good in school and all these things. I had no time for anything else, and it was so hectic that everything just kept getting better. Like, if I was like not into sports or whatever, I wouldn't be working harder in school. I'd probably be drinking, doing drugs at a young age. Like
you start that a little later. Yeah, you need to start that early.
So it's like it's better to be busy.
Of course.
And you think it's like it'll be harder to juggle, but I think in fact it'll just like, and in the end it'll be better.
Right.
So
wild stuff. The other thing I definitely wanted to talk about is how do you win $50,000 on Ellen? How did this come about?
75,000.
Was it 75?
75, buddy.
I already have the title for this video. How to win $75,000 on Ellen. If that doesn't catch people's attention, I don't know what will.
Fly out twice to LA.
Yeah.
For a day.
I wanted like the whole story. How do you go? First of all, how do you get on?
Well, first of all, we signed a lot of things, and I can't really say a lot about behind the scenes, but I can give you a general.
Yeah, please. Is Ellen a bitch?
No, she's great. She is actually. So
yeah, totally not paid $75,000 to say that.
That was crazy. That So my girlfriend at the time went to watch Ellen DeGeneres show in the crowd.
Yeah.
And she's a beautiful woman, so of course they were like, "Hey, sit front row." She's got good energy, And then they asked her after the show, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to audition for this thing, Game of Games?" And she's like, "Sure." And they did this quick little interview thing, and they said, if you have a boyfriend or someone to go
I can find one.
Yeah. Just apply with them. So she came home, she's like, "Listen, we're gonna audition for this Game of Games," and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah. It's so up your alley.
This is my
call. Literally
low key, I don't talk about it, but like
it's TV with athleticism. It's you.
Act.
Dude, it's you.
Stuntman. So we did like these huge process to make it, but the main thing is you're playing Heads Up, which is Ellen's game, with the producers on Skype.
Right.
They just want to see energy, this and that, and you have to make this whole like there's a lot of work into it, and we did it all, and like basically never heard back, and we were like, nah, like
didn't work
it is
out.
what it is, you know. They say for every 10 you apply for, maybe get one.
Sure.
I've applied for Amazing Race and all those. You can't have your hopes up, so we forgot about it. Little do you know. Burbank.
Ellen was there.
Burbank, California. What? Boom. You guys ready to go in 2 days? And yeah, so we got, flown out to LA and spent the time there. And won the first round. And then the next week went again. But this is perfect for this whole podcast.
Yes.
Because you're saying how we're busy. So the first time we went, we would fly out on Thursday and we were to film Friday, but we also filmed a wedding on Saturday. So we had to get a red eye and drive back. Like, you're supposed to stay 3 days and just chill.
Yeah.
We were back the next day, filmed a wedding. Next week rolls around, same idea. Sunday, we're shooting a wedding together. She's doing video, I'm doing photo.
Right.
So this is the timeline. Go to LA on Thursday. Go on the second round of Ellen. Win.
Yeah, that's the
Fly
crazy part.
home.
You won.
You don't sleep. You fly home. Get here, go to the wedding, which is in Leamington, an hour away from here. Go to the wedding. We're doing pre-workout in the fridge because, we wouldn't want to tell them that we were just in LA.
Of course.
20 hours ago.
You actually can't tell them because you signed a non-disclosure at the time.
True.
Yeah, you couldn't tell them.
So we were drinking that, and the groom goes, "Are you drinking pre-workout?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I love it. Like, you're all in my wedding. My photographer's drinking pre-workout at my wedding. That's the kind of photographer I want." This guy was chill and he was cool. So that happened. So we do the wedding, and then I compete on Sunday in London for pole vault.
Dude.
And it's like, right? How am I alive? I broke the Serbian national record on that Sunday, and it was my best jump that year.
That's crazy.
So it's not.
It all came Millhouse. Everything was
go
coming
to sleep
up.
early. Go this.
Why don't you buy a lottery ticket?
No, right?
It was coming up so much.
Because I didn't win the lottery, dude. I worked for that. Years I trained to jump that. No, and then we won, which was crazy, and like I was proud because I took it as a competition. Like,
of course.
First time I was there, it was like I was nervous. It's like the cameras, this, like you have a little bit of nerves. No one's, we're not robots.
Of course.
The difference is if you let the nerves control you,
right?
That's when you're a nervous person. But you get those nerves and you just let them pass.
You went full Joko, baby.
And you just go, right?
Yeah.
And you play it up. You're this character. You play. And then after that first experience, but it was very quick and the game's so crazy and whatever. Actually, she just posted it on Instagram, the whole first game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So after that, the next time I went in, Buddy came in hot. I was like, I am the king. I'm going to win money. And like, this is where I belong. And it was like, hey, Ellen, what's up, Twitch?
Yeah,
and they sensed it. Even some of the workers were like, buddy, like, good for you, It's like, because I'm here to win, And I think that sports mentality, it was like a competition. And I just dialed in and won, which was hype.
Well, financial stability, financial freedom.
Basically, I could train and live for free the next year.
That's so nice.
Which is today.
That's huge.
Ideally, we would have been in Tokyo, everything would have been... But then, this thing happened called the pandemic. Dun, dun,
this is where like a video, off video starts. He's like, the pandemic started. It's like a little...
There's a bat in China, someone's eating soup. Yeah. So it's just like...
Life is so weird.
Yeah. Shit happened, but it was a crazy experience. And now, next time I apply to any show, that little box, have you ever been on TV? Check. Season 3, Ellen Game of Games, winner. It's actually on my resume.
I would put it on there,
Game of Games Season 3 winner. That's under languages, under like the extras.
I'm thinking of your like Olympian.
Master
filmmaker.
Day,
I'm just like, for the future. And then at the bottom, Ellen Game winner.
Yeah. I also want to add on my resume that I've started fire with 2 sticks.
Yeah, you're an outdoor man.
I am an outdoors man. You gotta hang out with Mom and Nat as much as you can.
I literally remember messaging you for tennis one time, and you're like, "Sorry, bro, I'm off the grid for the next 7 days." I was like, "All right, bro, like enjoy."
I'm big into survival camping, bushcraft, like bare bones, just reconnect. It's crazy if you've never done it. It's definitely something you got to do.
It's not me, my guy. I like to Twitch chat and support some lady that's got her cleavage out. That's all. I'm just trying to have a good Friday night.
Hey man, yin and yang. You can do that all the time, but 3 days in the forest will really bring down your nervous system. Will really get grounded.
I feel like I worked really hard in life to not have to live in a fucking forest, you know? That's the way I see it. Obviously it's a joke. Some people love it.
It's great, and I think we've gone a little too urban. Like, you need this mix. Like, you need to have a garden and climb a tree ever so often. It's just healthy.
Yeah, you're one of those, like, kind of freak athletes in the sense, because you do stupid shit that I would, like, not even think about. Oh. Like, you're climbing your house around, and, like, you've set up, like... Yeah, tell people what that is.
Well, during quarantine, everything was shut down, and I was like, I still need to train, so I trained almost every day. And I rock climb because it's good for, you know, even your posture and strength, body movement. So I was just, bouldering my house. I've got those French corners, and I just, you know,
go French corners.
Yeah, and just climb those, go on my window,
like Tarzan shit.
Yeah, and just like be on my window and look inside, and it's like my nephew and my dad are like, "Uncle's crazy," and my neighbor's like, "What's this guy doing?" But I was shredded at the time.
Yeah, well, you still are shredded.
Dude, I haven't.
You've got like what 3% body fat?
Yeah, I haven't done anything in 2 months, and I actually am concerned as to why I haven't lost muscle mass. It's pretty freaky, to be honest. I've been blessed with good genes, but. I haven't done anything in a while. This was my month off. Haven't been living healthy because I've been filmmaking.
Of course, you can't. You can't mix all these things. You can't make it balance it.
But next week, I guess, or in 2 weeks when I move to Toronto, it's full in training. It's going to be good. Get back into the rhythm. But yeah, you really get into the flow of things. That's what I like about sports. It keeps you in this nice state where you just feel your body and you feel healthy. Like, I haven't been sick in like 5 years, 4 years. I can't remember the last time I had a runny nose. Just got to stay on top of things. Be healthy, eat healthy.
Yeah.
Make homemade sausage.
Homemade sausage, yeah. Shout out to your dad for absolutely killing it.
Hey, family ordeal.
Yeah, okay, you made it, you all made it.
We all made it. Actually, this year.
You're making your own meats. This is like, you know, I'm trying to like paint a picture for like...
He dries them and cures them, but this year my buddies came and we made it an event. And we basically did all the hard labor, and he was just like directing. Like the director he is. It's perfect. Like, he's a
veteran. He's got like 15, 20, 30 years, you know? Like,
he was mixing sausage before I was even conceived, man. So
he was mixing a different kind of sausage.
He was mixing a different kind of sausage. You gotta live off the land. So it's good if you can get like animal products, animal fats. You know, not this whole American Heart Society lying that, you know, it's saturated fat. It's sugar that kills you. This stuff's pure energy. Pure energy.
I love it.
You got to do that. I want to get into hunting. I want to like be able to have my meats, like kill a moose.
I'm actually down for that. Deer, I'd be down to do that with you.
Have that meat. I never want to buy any meat from the grocery store.
I'd be down to try that.
Right?
I want to
hunt. Like, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but I respect that they don't like the meat that we currently have available. It's shit. Yeah. But if it's natural, you need animal products. I mean, and they have things that plants will never give to you.
Bow hunting, rifle hunting,
either or, but bow.
Bow would be sick.
Like I said, I'm an outdoors man. It's like,
I'd be down
if you want, but even bow.
Have you done bow before? Have you tried it?
Yeah, like I built a bow and arrow out of PVC, man.
Of course, why did I even?
It was like 45 pounds.
I wanted to question that.
I wanted to see how strong it was, right? Because I made it.
Yeah.
And we had this old car door in outside that was from our old Jeep, and I was like, let's see. And I go, and it went through the car door.
I killed a small child, and I hide the body, but
it's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
Just PVC and PVC, you know? I think it's 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch PVC, and you just strip the 1/4 inch one, and you jam it in, and it fits in perfectly, and that's it. You got a long bow. Boom.
I tried bow hunting. I don't know. I went somewhere with my mom. There's a club here.
Yeah, at the sportsman club.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to try like shooting a bow, and I was like fucking 14. My mom's like, all right, we'll go do that. And so I went there. I was like struggling to pull that thing, but when I let it go, that feeling, closest thing to sex, I think.
Yeah.
Just like,
and it's crazy, like when you watch like Game of Thrones.
Lord of the
Legolas. It's just a nice it's a nice feeling, and it's got a good flight path, and the sound is very like it's.
You gotta get obsessed with bow hunting, though. I feel like bow hunting is not one of those things like, oh, I'll just pick it up for 30 minutes a day or something. You need to like be in the deep weeds.
For sure, but like we talked earlier, you know, that's what I do. Go 7 days and I'm an animal. I become like, we killed a squirrel last time and ate it. Like you become your hunting senses heighten.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, that's where your ultimate goal is.
So moving to Toronto is mostly for training, right? And you already said you set the record for what, Serbian high jump or pole vault?
Yeah, the Serbian national record.
But you didn't want to pay for the like registration for it or something. I wanted to bring that up.
Well, it's funny because they actually like accepted it. They put it on.
Oh, they did?
So yeah.
Height.
Rules are rules.
No, they're not listening to the podcast. No, they're.
Yeah, so that's like a good check. Like basically, I've succeeded in a way in my career already. Now it's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, everything is a bonus from here on out.
Yeah, so that's great and that's fun. But you know, you can be happy, which is a choice, and I am. But satisfaction is different. You know, I'm still not satisfied.
I'm never happy, dude. I don't know. I see people happy. I'm like, what are you happy about? You know, like that.
Breathe in the air, baby. Another day in paradise.
Whenever I do anything that's remotely good, I'm like, oh, that video was awesome. I got 500,000 views on it. And the next day, I'm like, well, you know, like I'm like, well, what now? Yeah, I was like, what now? Like, I guess that was cool.
Well, and that's the whole.
It's such a temporary happiness.
It is, but everything is like the whole thing is like, oh, like Olympics, and it's like, yeah. And then you have people like Shaun White who win a gold medal at the Olympics
100
and then go into
times.
depression.
Yeah, right.
Right. You have this like goal, and then you do it. So it's like you got to understand that like that's just a passing thing. You win it, ride the highs.
Yeah.
And then ride the lows. And
you need those lows. Without those lows, you don't even know what highs are.
Best advice or comment I ever got is this guy in a bar. I think he was on drugs or something. I don't even know where it was. But it was just he had this good vibe, and I was like, man, like what's your story? And he goes, you just got to ride the wave. It's like as he's passing me the drink, he's just like,
that's a t-shirt right there.
What are you doing today? He's like, dude, just ride the wave. Like, you know.
You just felt that. You felt that energy. You're like, damn, that's where I want to be.
Some things you can't control, you know?
Sure.
So you can't go there and start punching waves. Just grab a surfboard and ride it, dude. You'll have a better time and you'll end up not drowning.
Right.
Go and punch it. It's not going to work, so just ride the wave, man.
What's the next wave? What else you want to do but you don't have time for, or like you just,
maybe acting. One. So like I guess more filmmaking, and
it's crazy.
Business.
You have a film degree, but you haven't really like tried to get any professional film work, right? Like you haven't.
I've worked on a feature, and I write like on my own, but not yet. That's something is like later on when my body fails for sports, my mind will still be sharp and have lived a life that I can make a good movie that's watchable.
Right.
Right.
I would like to play an extra in that if that's possible.
Oh, for sure.
My zero experience in the film. Well, actually,
now we have the power.
I have one line.
People love that line. My buddies love it. Samir's always like, "That's the best." Like,
it's so funny because like I am a Serbian man and yet I cannot do a Serbian
accent. It's hard. It's not Russian. You always go Russian, but it's not.
It's like Rounders with John Malkovich. Do you remember that?
No.
He's like, he's man. It was like the worst Russian accent I've ever heard. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's how it should sound. Like, that's how, white people think we sound.
Yes. So, I guess that's the next wave, is just get better at everything, And buy land, get a house, like, make money. Like, that's the next step, At the end of the day, it's not all about money. It's not. But it is something that's necessary. So,
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at now.
You said you wanted to go from, like, build up a following with pole vault and stuff like that, and then turn that into something like through Instagram. And
for sure,
what was the dream there, I guess, or plan?
I mean, I don't know really what the end goal is, but I guess it's just seeing where that goes. I mean, I think that social media is so good. It has so many good things as well as negative, but I tend to focus on the negatives.
So many more opportunities
for some reason.
Yeah, of course.
So I've kind of copied what I do in the rest of my life and just think positively of it. So I think social media is a good tool to spread, positivity and like inspiration. You never know who's watching, whatever. So I think just like doing your best, having fun, and if you put it online, people might be inspired by it.
Sure.
So I guess when I really think down deep, when I think about it, I'm an entertainer. Like I was born to entertain. Like,
you're a showman.
Film, right?
Yeah.
Filmmaking, entertainment, acting, sports, even pole. Like what is that? To the
Showmanship.
core, it's entertainment. Like,
Yeah.
watch this guy jump with a stick. So like, shit. Yeah, if you're gonna entertain, you might as well do it online.
Do a bunch of things and see what sticks.
Yeah. So just day by day, man.
Are you worried about the Toronto lifestyle? Are you worried that you will get a little too distracted from the? You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what?
No.
You know what I'm saying? No, just kidding.
No. Toronto.
Take a shot every time I make a blow reference.
Yeah. What is going on?
It's a Windsor thing, guys.
Is it a Windsor thing?
It's a Windsor. Blow is a.
It's a world thing.
Well,
it's like the one thing everyone does but doesn't want to admit it. Like
Canada is the second biggest user of
Is
cocaine,
it?
apparently, and I would say most of that is because of Windsor.
And the audio and video cuts off there. Kind of a perfect ending, to be honest, unintentionally. And I apologize once again for losing the last 7-8 minutes of this podcast, but still an awesome guest and I think a great episode. I'll leave my friend Milos's Instagram down below. Drop him a follow. He's a very interesting character. And if you're listening on some sort of podcast platform, drop me a review. It'd really help my podcast grow in the future. And if you're on YouTube, obviously, like and sub. And I'll see you next time. Peace.